Hey, welcome back to another ballistics gel test. Today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. We're shooting 9mm from a 16-inch barreled carbine. And more specifically, we're going to be shooting Underwood Ammo's 9mm Luger plus P plus 115 grain jacketed hollow point, and that's billed at 1400 feet per second out of a pistol. And the test rifle today is going to be the Henry Homesteader 9mm carbine featuring a 16.37-inch barrel. I've got a Vortex Spark 2 red dot on top, and we're going to be testing velocity from a mere 7 feet to try and get the best rating possible without destroying my chronograph. We'll be taking 3 shots from 25 yards, firing into 10% ballistics gel that has been calibrated to meet the FBI's ballistics testing protocol. And while ballistics gel isn't an exact proxy for big game, it does provide a repeatable medium through which to test various bullets and ammo against each other. After the shots, we'll examine bullet expansion, weight retention, penetration, and velocity. My goal is to provide hunters like you and I with the most objective information possible to help us make the best choice for our particular hunting situation. The ballistics gel in this video has been sourced from Clear Ballistics. You can find a link in the description. So let's go ahead and shoot this thing and see what 9mm out of a carbine will do. And I've come on down to the blocks to take a look at that Underwood 115 grain plus P plus load. We hit the block with all 3 rounds, and it looks like we got fairly consistent penetration. I may have hit one bullet with another. That's actually 2 bullets right there. So when I dig them out, we'll take that into consideration. But as far as penetration goes, let me see if I can do it from this side. The sun is shining from that way, but it looks like we can see. Looks like we got 2 bullets right at, we'll call it 11 inches, and one at about 12 3/8. Let's go ahead and take a look at the velocities for that Underwood 115 grain hollow point plus P plus stuff. So we're about 7 foot from the muzzle. The high was 1589, the low 1557, and the average was 1577. So these things are scooting right along. And here we're looking at that Underwood 9mm 115 grain plus P plus jacketed hollow point fired out of the Henry Homesteader with the 16-inch barrel. First, we'll talk about weight retention. The average weight retention was pretty low, 64 grains. And as you can see from the bullets here, we did have jacket core separation on 2 of the bullets. The one in the middle did hold together. Not completely unexpected when firing a 9mm at such high velocity, and we'll get to the velocity here in just a second. Overall, that worked out to 56% retained weight. Now we'll talk about expanded diameter. The average expansion was 0.612 inches, and respectively we saw 0.705, 0.595, and 0.541 inches of expansion for an overall expansion of 1.7x. Now we'll talk about velocity, and I'm sure this is what everyone wants to know, as we did fire this from a 16-inch carbine instead of a pistol. So the high velocity was 1,589 feet per second. The low was 1,557 feet per second for an average of 1,577 feet per second, versus the factory build velocity out of a pistol of 1,400 feet per second. So we did get quite a velocity bump from firing it from a carbine, and we were 177 feet per second faster on average. Penetration wise, we got an average penetration of 11.5 inches, and it was fairly consistent. We got 12 3/8 inches, 11 inches, and 11 inches respectively. And as far as penetration goes, we're starting to get to that 12 to 16 inch range that most people like to see from handgun ammo, but not very deep penetration, and that's not unexpected being that these bullets were flying so fast and did get some good expansion, and they did break up quite a bit, so no surprise we didn't see deeper penetration. Final thoughts on that Underwood Ammo 9mm 115 grain plus P plus jacketed hollow point load out of the 16-inch barreled carbine. We did get quite a bit more velocity from this load out of a 16-inch barrel, 177 extra feet per second. Now what happened, maybe because of that, maybe not, I'm going to say probably because of that, is the bullets really didn't hold together. They kind of blew up, which makes a lot of sense. They're going a lot faster than they were designed for. Makes sense they're not going to hold together. In terms of penetration, we didn't quite hit the 12-inch benchmark that people like to see out of a handgun, and I think that's because of so much extra velocity. It expanded really, really quick, and it created a lot more resistance up front, so you're not going to get quite as much penetration as you actually might out of a handgun. Interesting note there. And then in terms of expansion, we definitely saw some expansion, 1.7x, and sort of the agreed upon minimum expansion for an effective defense load from a handgun is 1.5x, so we definitely hit that and surpassed it. So in terms of my own personal opinion about what this load might be useful for in a 16-inch carbine, I don't know that I would use it in a 16-inch carbine. I think this particular load lends itself a lot more to being shot out of a pistol. You would probably see slightly less expansion. You would probably see a bit more penetration, but out of a carbine, it's just not suited to it, I don't think. Hey, if you enjoy these videos, check out my website, masonleather.com, and get yourself some leather gear handmade by me just for you. I've been handcrafting leather gear for hunters for over a decade, and I would love to make you something. The link is in the video description. And check out my channel for more hunting ammo ballistics gel tests.